inspired recently. I know it's been inspired by the Holy Spirit. By the way, coincidentally, where we've gone on this, the glory. What is that? It keeps exciting me. This project that we're looking to take you on this journey on actually was established by a gift that was given to or offered to us. We haven't actually received the gift. It was of some equipment, but that gift actually was a catalyst into us dreaming and scheming in how we can make this an attractional community hub and bless the community around us. And I think it's Proverbs 18 that talks about how a gift opens doors. And I really believe that is so true of this situation. So what we want to do just for the next 10 minutes or so is just quickly show you a little bit of where we feel we are being led as a church in regards to developing this facility so that we can outwork the love in our community part of living real love. And I will just say, we have not got all the answers. This is kind of, we're feeling our way through this, but instead of just just nailing it ourselves as leaders and going, this is what we're doing, we thought it'd be good to share with you guys and give you guys opportunities to speak into it, to ask questions, because you all carry gifts, you've got other ideas, you've got different perspectives, and we want to go on this journey together. So we just really kind of like going on a little feeling our way through moment, aren't we, Tegs, of this project. So we're going to have have we got a spare microphone as well? Is there a spare mic lingering around by any chance? We'll just use the convener mic. Could you have that? Because we want to open this up. If people want to ask questions about this, and like I said, we haven't got all the answers. This is just what we're sensing at the moment. Then we want you to speak into this. So I'm just going to pass it over to Tegs, and then we're going to discuss some stuff. Go for it, Tegs.
Okay. So yeah, we've just spent a bit of time sort of seeking different options for this facility, but one thing we really wanted, the heart behind this is not a building project. Yeah, we've got a building, that's our thing in our hand, but it is about serving our vision, getting into that community. If that doesn't do it, there's no point. Building projects can become so much a focus, and that's not what we want. Yes, that is what we're going to be doing, but that is just to enable us and really just move us forward into outreach into our community and also just serving the community in different ways. So yeah.
So I think a question as well would be why do we need to develop this facility already? Because we've got a lot of space, we've got other rooms. Like, why would we need to do that?
I think it's a great facility. We've spent a lot of time on focusing on certain areas, and certain other areas around the building have completely been left not really developed. And for different things that we want to use the building for, it's very much restrictive. You know, we've got this great auditorium, which, to be honest, doesn't really need very much done to it. But you know, if we look at like the kitchen, for example, it's pretty poor. We don't have that many breakout rooms where we can. You know, that's for Sunday church. You know, we don't have that many rooms we can use as Sunday school. But it's also during the week. If we want to do something in a smaller room, a little bit more intimate or something like that, it's just, they are limited in what we can do. Another thing that we find is that the flow of the building and how we walk through the building doesn't completely work with what in the future we see the building being used for. And rooms, you have to walk through other rooms to be able to get to certain places within the building, so we're just trying to revisit that a little bit more as well, which would be helpful for things like safeguarding, but also, you know, the vision would be that we would have multiple things happening during the week, maybe at the same time, and we don't want to be disturbing one thing to get to another room or things like that. So that's some of the issues that
So what are the possibilities?
I think really we sort of discussed, and some of this came back from sort of core team discussions, things like that, but you know, there were some things that we thought were, you know, what can we use this building for? And these are all ideas, this is preliminary, this is, you know, hopefully people will come to us with great ideas and say, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? And that will develop as well. You know, we don't just do this project and then stop. hopefully, the building will be used for certain purposes. That will have a season. We might change that. So I think all of this is very up in the air, but there's some really key ones at the moment that we're feeling are quite current. So some of the things that we came up with was developing the cafe area out the front, making that an area where families can come from the local community. And one of the main things with that was a soft play area. So that was one major part of it. The other part is obviously our youth work, which has been running now for quite a while and really developing, but they don't have a dedicated space. And youth want to feel like it's their little zone, their vibe. So yeah, I'm sure Matt can probably explain that a bit better than I can. But so we want a dedicated youth room where we can do things like have a little band playing, air hockey, pool, maybe sometimes cinema, that sort of thing, but just give them their own space, something where people aren't going to be on their back all the time, sort of saying don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, sort of space that they can own.
Just quickly to rewind, what I would say, it was the soft play. Someone offered us a soft play unit to put into the cafe. That's what actually started and triggered this whole journey that we're on. We're probably not going to use the soft play, but we thought, actually, do you know what? As we started praying in it as a core team and started bringing it before God, we thought, do you know what? We need to have something like, I think they call it a USP in the kind of business world, but a unique selling point. We're out on an industrial estate, we're in Red Roof. What actually could we have to make this place attractive and a community hub which will draw families in? So we thought, man, that's a good one, a soft play. So actually in the making of a soft play, we could then regenerate the cafe so that we could serve the families that come in with their kids and then kind of, start intermingling with them. And obviously the end goal is to share the gospel, get them saved, discipled, set free of all the stuff going on in their lives. But sorry.
Sure. I think also the other thing with all of this is, it's breaking down stereotypes. You talk to somebody, we've got some friends who don't come to church, they've got kids, or they've got a little one, and church to them is still that, that cold Anglican building or that cold Methodist building that we all know. They came into this building yesterday and she just said, wow, this is an amazing building, an amazing facility. And I think, if we can bring people into this building, their stereotypes will be changed. And bring them into a cafe or some soft play is going to be a lot easier than bringing them into church, because they've got to break that stereotype. But once they've been in the building and they realise it's different, I think they're going to have a different viewpoint. So I think, that's definitely been part of my thinking on that. Some of our other uses that we sort of were looking at, while these young mums and families are coming into the cafe area, it's a thought that maybe we can actually give them something extra. We know that Red Roof is a deprived area, and so some families can't afford some of the luxuries of life that other people can, and it's like, well, maybe we can do some cost-effective things like beauty treatments, little after-school clubs for the kids, or arts and crafts, or even like cooking classes for nutrition and things like that. So these could all be related around that cafe, but we would need these other extra small rooms that would be off the cafe and off the building that could run these smaller activities. We've also obviously got the availability that this is a building that we can use for like conferences and things like that, whether that's Christian conferences, business conferences. It's a massive space, and so that was another thing in the thinking. Not so much, but we need to. We do need to cover costs, and being able to rent a room now and again is also going to be useful. It's not going to be our primary focus, but if there is a small room that the local clubs can rent out or something like that, or even if we're financially in a position, we could just bless it to them, but whatever it might be, it's just having those spaces that are multi-purpose.
So maybe take them on a little walkthrough of what this potentially could look like, because I'm a pictures man. I like to see things visually as well, So Tegs, as this is some of his kind of he's a visionary, and he's kind of started putting some stuff together, which I'm just going to let him do it instead of talk.
Yeah, so firstly, just like from what we were saying about these different uses, we then came up with some key sort of targets or goals that we wanted to achieve when we start thinking about redeveloping the building. And these are just some of those. Again, we'd love more input, and
ideas.
it's all as I say up in the air. But some of those things were just some dedicated spaces. Youth room we've discussed. The crash area, we really wanted to achieve a crash area for the church, where actually there's a window that people can go to the crash and feel like they're still in church, but they don't have to worry about their child screaming or running around or all of that when we're in these quiet points. So a dedicated crash area, some counselling rooms where just one-to-one meeting room. You need to meet for some pastoral stuff or actual proper counselling. We needed to achieve that. I felt that's really important. Some multi-purpose small rooms. Obviously, redeveloping, we're going to need, some office space. Again, office space was not our primary focus, but we need it because if somebody is running part of the cafe, they're going to need a space to do the admin that goes with it. It's just part of that. So cafe with soft play we've discussed, and the new kitchen. One thing we really wanted to achieve, obviously, is we're going to redevelop some stuff on 2 floors, which we'll see in a minute. But it's getting a lift in there to make sure it's accessible. Also, like a reception area. So when people come to the building at the moment, it's very unclear what door you go in and all of that sort of thing. So just having a bit more of a, this is more weekday sort of stuff, but having an area which is a bit more welcoming. And as I've already mentioned, just like working out the traffic flows of people. So I've created some plans, which I'm just going to put the basic plans up at the moment. I understand that they're quite small and you probably can't see them, but basically, in a minute, I've also created some 3D we're going to do a 3D walkthrough, which it's a work in progress, but hopefully it will give you some ideas of those areas. So just basically looking at the plans, we can see that the back room, that some of you will be aware there's a room through those double doors, currently looks like an industrial warehouse. That is what we're hoping to become our dedicated youth room. The cafe, obviously, out the front is going to stay very similar. And then the rooms that are down this side of the building over here will be changed and developed to work better for us. That's the general idea. I said it's a bit more zoomed in so you can see it. I'll make these available as well. Maybe we'll get them printed or something, and get them out in the cafe at some point. So we've created a 3D model. I'm hoping this is going to work, but let's give it a try and see what happens. So I'm just going to... Okay. So this is our youth room. You'll see the fuel logo there. We've got a bit of a feature of the room. Just trying to, the colours are all open for negotiation. We're going to walk through, as we're coming through those doors into the auditorium. Obviously, this is already developed, so I didn't spend too much time drawing it. We're now going through those doors over there into our cafe space. I'll try and pause it when we get to that point, just so you can get a bit more of a picture of it. So on there you can see we've got a soft play area. As I said, we've had one given to us, but we are looking at whether that actually does comply to fire regs and things like that. And if that doesn't work for us, we are aware of other routes to actually sourcing that at the time. The kitchen next door, which is in the same place as where it is now, but that would be redeveloped. We would actually divide off some of these areas as well. So currently you can actually look right across the building. So we're actually building the walls up and dividing off better for heating and things like that. We're now going to go into like the reception area. So this is the double doors outside. So this really would be the main church entrance for general sort of more administration purposes. We would probably use the entrance over that side as the cafe entrance. But again, this is all open to discussion. and then had an entrance where someone come in to want to meet someone from the church, to walk in and they'd know where to go. They'd meet somebody, there might be a reception desk, something like that, and they'd meet someone there and actually be able to then be taken to the place. So when we go back to what I was saying about the flow of people, one thing we notice obviously is the only way to get into this area is either walking through those rooms or walking through the cafe. So this area would actually mean that over in that corner we'd end up with another set of double doors that would come through from the outside door. So we've redeveloped that area, and we'll go down there now and have a look. So yeah, that would then take you through into the auditorium. That would be a lift going upstairs, and then breakout rooms on the sides of each of the, where we've now got the current creche and offices. These would become different size breakout rooms, and these could obviously double up then as Sunday school rooms, as treatment rooms. That room there is actually also got a doorway from the cafe. So if we wanted to do, like I mentioned, beauty treatment for the mums, we could actually, rather than them all coming through and have to go to a different section of the building, it's actually just a door through from the cafe space. And that could be used obviously for loads of different things, but that was the idea. We then go, this is that room, and then upstairs would really be the administrational side of things. You have to bear with me as the animation sort of does some funny stuff. So yeah, the idea of the upstairs, obviously, the current building as it is, we are sort of working with where we've got windows already, things like that, to save really having too many planning issues. But the idea is to have this open space in that side of the building where the light coming in through the main front entrance will actually transmit through. So any of the handrails, that sort of thing, would be glass. So it would just like make that quite an open space, like it is at the moment, but just reconfigured. We'll just go through that. So we've got an office on one side and a counselling room, and then a couple of offices on the other side. And then we'll come back to you can look now back out, so that'd be back out to the outside. And then this takes us through into another breakout room. So this breakout room is actually above that Isaac room. There's actually a space there already created that nobody can get to. So that is actually would become another breakout room. And the idea of that room is it can obviously be used. It can be used by the office space. It can be used by people coming in the front entrance. But also we're looking to add stairs that then go back so that the youth room can use that as an extension of their space. So say they want to do some small group stuff with like the youth on a Friday night, they've got their dedicated space, but then by still looking out at these other areas, they can still get upstairs to do that. And then we'll just take a walk down these new stairs, which would actually then, this will take us down into that Sunday school room that we have at the moment.
Slow walking. I think the idea of this is because we don't want to move ahead into anything without coming together and really praying it through as a church, and we don't want to just kind of steamroll ahead with stuff without giving people opportunities to bring their influence, their skills, their thoughts, their opinions into the mix. So we want to just go on a journey together with it, but carry on, Ted.
Yeah, so this is the last bit. Yeah. So this is we're standing in what would be in the creche area. You can see there's a window that would then come through, so you can actually see the stage from that. So the window would be over there. And the idea was that would be, again, a dedicated space. We put some baby changing in there. Just make it a place that really mums feel included and part of the church service. So yeah, that was the general idea. This is, as I say, very preliminary. It's just an idea that some people can see what actual potential there could be in this building. Because I think at the moment we are using certain bits to their full potential or to a good potential, and other bits, really not being used. So yeah, that's the idea. that's pretty much
Yeah.
from that perspective.
So that's what's in our hand at the moment. We really feel that, you know, to outwork and to live real love in this community, and to not only get out amongst it, which is what we want to do as well, but also to become a community hub, which was the heart and vision of this place. We need to develop. So we don't want to do anything without bringing it before you guys and others that are away and holidays and stuff. But we're just going to be just prayerfully, carefully coming before God over the next coming months. We're meeting with funders who can potentially help us out with that, and we're praying into other avenues. We're not going to go on a big kind of give into this kind of thing. We're going to allow the Holy Spirit to work on people. If people feel they want to give into that, that's great. But what we really want more is ideas, prayers, and just to kind of, envision you guys to take some ownership and get a hold of what potentially this could look like and what this could lead into, and how we could actually reach more of the community and become a community hub in this area. Because I really believe what we have in our hand needs to be stewarded well, and this development is much part of that stewarding, really. So that's it. I mean, I don't know if time's really gone. I don't know if we can really go into questions. Has anyone got any burning questions on them right now? I mean, if you have, it's fine. If you haven't, we've got 2 there. Okay, Kaide, can you just put those out, and then we'll give some more time for questions at a later date as well. Is it on this?
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Just a quick question. We're talking about including everybody and being totally inclusive, and the lift's been mentioned to get upstairs. Is there provision for something such as a changing places area for people who have physical needs or learning difficulties needs, so they need a changing place, and maybe a tracking hoist and something like that?
Haven't even thought about that, but I'm glad you brought it up. This is exactly why we're floating it. Well, what we can do is when we get the Ted is going to be printing these out quite large and putting them on the wall, and we're going to have all the rooms with all their possible functions on the wall, and that's when we can start inputting into that. Because if that's a need, if we feel that's what is needed for what this place could be used for, then let's pray it through. Let's do it. So that's good. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
For youth right through to adult, maybe a rehearsal studio for Christian band music to develop. I've also got very expensive speakers. I'll donate and give it to you, and an amp and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I'll bring that back down from Bristol if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Rehearsal room.
Yeah, could well be. I mean, this is another
Christian
thing.
music.
Yeah. I mean, again, let's bring it to the table. Let's when we've got the plans up, let's talk. I mean, this won't be the last time we have opportunities to speak into this. So, and yeah, mate, I mean, I haven't seen the speakers, but again, we felt when we were praying into this that there might be people who want to sow into this in other ways with things that they have, or, you know, gifts or whatever. So, yeah, great. Yeah, one more. Yeah. Peter.
Hi, crew.
Right, Pete.
I think it's brilliant the way that you designed it with the entrance down the other side, with the glass coming in, using that natural light. I think that's excellent. One of the problems that we've always had is that when the kids go out into their playgroups, you haven't got a corridor running down that side so that they have the privacy.
Yeah.
So I think that's brilliant. I mean, we could even bring a corridor coming in down with a door in this right-hand corner and bring it inside here, so we don't utilise any of the space that we've already got in those rooms. So they walk into a corridor, then into the rooms, and that gives that privacy. The other thing, that having done a lot of youth work, brilliant that you're going to get your own space, because kids need that. One of the things that I thought about when you're doing youth work, you've got the different age groups, so it'd be nice to have a little gym somewhere so that people can use it. Men always like using gyms, kids like using gyms, especially with the teenagers, 16, 17, 15, 16, 17 and upwards. You know, a little gym would be brilliant in here. The other thing is I thought you could do is maybe have a little climbing wall on the left-hand side when you come in.
We've already had that one
with the kids. Obviously climbing is something that everybody's into at the moment, but just something that you can do with the families coming in. It's not always the little ones who are going in there. We've got these other 11, 12-year-olds, as we see, you know, fantastic Elijahs and all these different ages that are growing up, but they're not going to be long, and they're going to be wanting to do something a little bit more strenuous, a little bit more physical. So I think it's great that, but maybe a gym with the youth, maybe on, you could have the older gym, maybe have somebody else come in, taking them in, and they can be doing. I mean, having done that with when I was growing up in youth, I enjoyed the table tennis and I loved the gym work when I was like 14, 15, 16, that sort of age group. So yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. That's good.
There's also a few thoughts in there about maybe doing some development outside.
Yeah.
Maybe cage football or something like
Yeah.
that, or so those sort of things. We definitely highlighted that by changing the cafe area into a younger sort of children's area, it would actually, we would need to then create the youth space because some of the older kids has not, and that was brought up in one of the core meetings, that actually, we create something that is suitable for younger kids. The older kids are going to feel like they don't want to be there. So hence why that we created that. Picking up on your corridor comment, we've actually, the whole idea of sort of reversing where the crash is actually so that we use the corridor that is going up that way to get to those other rooms that are further up. So it's actually sort of a reversal, because by putting the corridor in, we'd actually come up with a problem with the viewing of the crash room through into this space. So, and we also didn't want to make this space too much smaller. So that was the thought process of where we are with that. But it's still
the other side of that.
Going that way, out to the front.
I'll let you talk about that after because we've got to close up. But we've really got to go. Can we talk after? Is that alright? Just because. But because we want, I know it's a little different to a first kind of service that you might be used to, but we felt as leaders actually, if we're going to start pushing into this and going on a journey together, we need to launch it at the very start so that we can start meeting the right people and meeting the right vendors and speaking to the right people about things that need doing early on. So that's why we decided to float it out there now. This is going to be available on the mailing list if you're part of the mailing list. If you're not, give me an email address. And we're going to give more opportunities to speak into this, aren't we? But it might be nice to give Tegs a round of applause for it. And we're going to prepare to worship.